The assessment tool that I chose was Book Handling Knowledge, which is taught through direct instruction with the child. The purpose of this assessment is to identify if the child knows concepts about print and how to handle a book properly. Um, this assessment sometimes may only take up to a minute long. It can take longer. It just depends on if the child knows or does not know the questions being asked. Some questions that might be asked would be for like the child to show you the front of the book, to point to the spine, to open to a page that has both pictures and words. There's also a technique that in the assessment that's used that holds two index cards together on a single line, and you're going to ask the child to push the two index cards together till they get one word, ask the child what that word is, and then using that same word, push together till there's one letter and ask the child what letter that is. It's just basically like having the children like show you and demonstrate the positioning of like what you're asking them, and like if they know all the concepts about how to take care of a book, how to read a book, what the purpose of a picture is, what the purpose of writing is, and much more. The assessment guidelines for book handling knowledge looks like this. It's 3 pages. And basically it's a little checklist that you will sign off on if the child does complete it, and you will leave a blank if the child does not properly complete it. I'm going to read the directions. So, before you begin, make sure that you are familiar with the test and the book you will be using. Make sure you select a book that has both pictures and a written story that includes the required punctuation marks. When you begin, be sure to make sure the child feels comfortable. If you quickly establish wrapper, the results will be more valid. If a child shows mastery of a concept, check the provided space. If the child does not show mastery of concept, leave the space blank or write what the child did. Some questions, for example, would be testing for the orientation of the book. So you're going to pass the book to the child, hold the book vertically by the outside edge, spine towards the child, and say, "Show me the front of the book." You don't want to just specifically hand the child the book the right way, because then that's just making it easy on them, because like they really might not know, that just might be a guess. You want to like flip it around, make it look like not the front of the book, and then give it to them, because then that's going to be to show if they really do know the front of the book, they will properly demonstrate it to us. So if you're testing for a concept that print, not pictures, carries the message, turn to the first page of the story and say, "I'll read this story. You help me. Show me where to start reading. Where do I begin?" So you're not looking at the pictures, you're looking at the words on this page. So you're going to ask the child, "Where do I begin reading?" And if the child does know, they're going to point to the first word on the page, on the left side of the page. All of this is all about questions that are being asked about different concepts about the books. So if you look closely, here is the line that you would sign off or check off of if they did complete the concept and or do know it. And that's how this is scored. It's mainly just scored on like the checks, and like they're counted up out of all the questions. And then that's how you see if the child properly knows how to handle a book or not. They may also end up reading you the book during it, because it's just encouraging more reading and like understanding of the book. But I do think that this is a really good like assessment for emergent and beginner readers. So it's like would mainly be used between like the pre-K to, I would say, about first to second grade. It's about people that are like beginning to read or learning how to read, or may not even know how to read yet. They just know they're learning how to take care of a book at the first stage, because that's very important. Because if a child doesn't know how to take care of a book, they're not gonna be able to read them, because they're not gonna be in good condition. So it's very important to know if a child even understands the main concepts about reading, where to begin, how to read the book, because some children may go straight to the back and flip it the wrong way, and they may be starting from the end to the beginning, and that's not going to help a child read if they don't know what they're reading about or actually comprehend what they have read.